So there was a lot to unpack with that little video. Um, the first thing I'm gonna say is I don't think he was necessarily trying to be offensive. I think people give a lot of these rappers like way too much credit. I feel like he was really just being ignorant. I mean, obviously what he says is ignorant, but I mean ignorant in a way that he was really just trying to be motivational. And I don't think he realized just how fucking stupid he sounded. The whole if you don't have AIDS type of thing, it's pretty obvious he doesn't know that AIDS hasn't been such a deadly disease in decades. Like if you find out that you have it in time, there's all type of medications. I mean, people live with all types of STDs and stuff like that. So when you hear about all these rappers, these famous people that have herpes and all types of stuff, the average person doesn't even really get checked out like that. You could have something and not have any symptoms or not even know it. But for the people who do catch things and if they do know it, go to the doctor. Some people live with this stuff. So I can understand, somebody who has AIDS or HIV, full blown, whatever you want to call it, somebody living with an STD in general. I can understand how they could take offense to that. I really think he was just trying to be positive. Now, I don't know why his rant was so random. It seemed kind of specific. The whole thing about females and they, pussy or whatever, like, I guess that was pandering to women. But the thing about sucking dick in a parking lot, I see why people coming at him. Like, I really get it. I just don't think that he really was trying to offend anybody. Of course, in today's political climate, there's no way in hell you can say half of the shit that he just said without getting canceled, without receiving the backlash that he is right now. The whole thing with T.I., I completely understand what T.I. is saying. I have like no dog in this fight. I'm not saying that the baby should be condemned or that he should be defended. The whole thing about freedom of speech, First Amendment, if you will, it's kind of tricky because a lot of people want to pick and choose when somebody should be censored or when somebody should have the right to say what they want to say. Now, let's just say hypothetically, I'm a person that fits under the LGBTQ whatever spectrum or whatever, right? If I'm listening to a rapper, or let's just say I'm a black guy, so let's just say I fit into any minority group. Let's just say it's Eminem or something, right? And he said something racist about black people. I'm glad that you said that. Let's say like it's not black and white. Let's just say that he genuinely meant it. Like let's just say he genuinely was like, fuck all black people, fuck anybody. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be glad that you said that something's racist. I'm glad you said it because you just showed me who you really are. So I can stop supporting you or whatever. I don't think that we should censor these type of things. I don't think that. Well, of course you can get offended or whatever, but I feel like me as a person, I'm the type of person I appreciate somebody being upfront and honest with me, if that makes sense. Because I don't want you to hide and pretend like you don't have these thoughts and that you don't have these ignorant ideas, and then you just talking to me and whatever. And all that. Think about what's some of the most craziest shit like a celebrity's ever said. Let's say I don't remember his name. That's how you know he wasn't really that important outside of Seinfeld. Kramer, remember when he went on that racist ass rant on stage? I'm glad he did that. Because I know you don't fucking like black people now. So I have no reason to respect you or tune in to anything you do. That's just how I think. I respect whatever a person says, whether I agree with it or I disagree with it. Like just speak your mind. But again, it's easy for me to say stuff like that when I'm not the one that's offended. I'm not taking it personal because it'll affect me. So with the whole thing with people, telling T.I., which T.I. is an example of a pseudo-intellectual, people giving all these rappers that talk a lot, like way too much credit. It used to be a time where, well, I really can't even say that because there were always, athletes, Muhammad Ali, rappers and stuff that were activists that spoke out on certain issues. But it's like, I don't know. Some people should just be seen and just not heard. Honestly, somebody might see this video and feel like I'm that type of person. But somebody like the baby, like I don't know why anybody's surprised by like shit he said. If I'm not mistaken, did he like punch a woman in front at like his concert or some shit? I don't keep up with a lot of these rappers. I don't know. I know I'm young, but I don't know. I just hear his music loud on the radio. But I remember something about he got a big problem with putting his hands on people, like especially his fans. But my whole point is, it's like you guys can listen to these people talk about shooting, killing, even raping in certain situations, and then when they get on live or they go to a concert and they say some wild shit, which that really was like totally random. It was almost specific. Then you guys like, wait, what? He really feels this way? It's like when rappers rap about, being criminals, and then when they really do some criminal shit, they like, come on, you better than that. You don't have more money than that. Why were you doing it? Wait, so you don't want him to be about what he talks about in his music? I'm just saying. So, with that being said, now let's switch over to the opposite end. You got somebody who's blatantly being homophobic, and then you have somebody who's being a blatant homosexual. So, here's the thing about Lil Nas X, right? Let's talk about the music video Call Me By Your Name, Montero, which is actually his real government name. It wasn't so much about, like, him being open with his sexuality, because at this point, like, society's way more progressive and accepting about it. In fact, the way people are going against the baby right now, how he's losing his endorsements, whatever, just proves that anybody under the LGBTQ spectrum is heavily protected. Like, this ain't the same world as 10, 15 years ago. You cannot say the same things. The fact that a rapper like, well, if he counts as a rapper, pop star, I don't know. The fact that somebody like Lil Nas X even exists and they're able to do the things that he does is proof that we're living in a different time period. But it's not so much about him being gay. Is the fact that this nigga literally twerked on the devil. And I get both sides of the argument. I get why he made the music video. Basically, the whole thing is people, especially religious people, I guess specifically religious people in this case, persecute homosexuals and then they condemn them to an afterlife of torment for a choice that they made in their finite physical life. Stuff like that personally turned me against religion, but that's a video for another day. I'm not answering that right now. But anyway, so like, I'm not gay, but I could understand what it's like. I guess I'm still black, so that's something. Imagine if you spent your whole life being told that you're a piece of shit for something that you can't control. So I got what he was trying to say. It was basically this. If you say I'm going to hell, I'm going to go to hell. And I'm going to make the best of it. The thing that lost me was when this nigga literally bought a shoe and sold it with basically a demonic thing. Because I get the whole message about homophobia, but now you're being irresponsible because you're literally monetizing Satanism. That's where you're going a little too far with it, dog. We get the whole point, but selling shoes with human blood, he's kind of like 6ix9ine in a way. He just likes to troll people and get a reaction. And I get it. He's doing it for the gay community. He's trying to, raise awareness. He's basically saying, we're not going to take it. You're not going to make us feel bad about who we are. And I get that. So that goes into this other video. What is it called? Industry Baby. I started to make this a reaction video. But when I found out that it basically was a bunch of men butt-ass naked in the shower, I'm not finna lie to you, dog. I'm not watching that shit. Sorry. Can't give you an in-depth analysis on that. I'm not gonna sit through no shit like that. A lot of people are like, hey, why is he dancing naked in the shower? He's glorifying, black men being incarcerated. He's supporting black men spreading AIDS and all that extra shit. If Cardi B or a bunch of strippers in a French Montana video, they get to popping their ass in coochie. Nobody's gonna make a big deal out of it. People are. People get on Cardi B for videos like WAP. People criticize Megan Thee Stallion. People criticize women, for over sexualizing themselves in music. But nowhere is near as they would a blatantly homosexual man. And the thing about that is because women have been objectified and sexualized in music for years, right? So now women are trying to take control of that, and they're taking it overboard to the point where they're blatantly making themselves nothing but sex objects. The thing about it is, men have been saying bitches ain't shit, hoes are just money grubbing, and they just ain't worth a shit, and just over sexualizing women and just demonizing them to the point where it's like women are taking it and running with it, and they're literally just putting those labels on themselves. Somehow they think that's empower them. I don't know how, but my point is, a result of people being persecuted and putting all these stereotypes on them, this is the result. Now you have it where society's, kind of been repressed or not really so open when it comes to like blatant, aggressive homosexuality. So Lil Nas X is the result of that. Ain't no gay R&B singers. Ain't no... Actually, some of the greatest musicians of all time have been gay or bad, but it's not really as popular, right? So that's another reason why people are criticizing him so hard, because of his, his blatant homosexuality and his persona and all that type of stuff. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I feel like freedom of speech works on both ends. If you don't like what somebody says, whether you agree with it or not, they have the right to say it. Same thing with music. Music is art. You don't have to agree with what this nigga makes. If you have a problem with men getting naked in the shower and dancing and all that, first of all, you gotta ask yourself, what the fuck is you finna watch that for? Like I said, I'm not finna watch that shit, and because he's so blatant with it, that kind of turns me off from ever being open to his music. I kind of knew the man was gay with the whole I'm gonna ride till I can't ride no more type stuff, but I'm not gonna condemn this guy just because he's gay. He may be getting on people's nerves, and maybe he is overdoing it, because if I was a rapper, I don't want to be, I'm black, y'all, I'm black, y'all, I'm black, y'all. So you as a rapper, you don't want to be, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay. Like, you kind of just putting that label on yourself and limiting yourself. But at the same time, you guys got to remember, music is art. You can talk about whatever you want to. People have, again, it's been criticized, but it's been going on so long, people just kind of accept it. Men have been rapping about killing other black men, destroying the black community, degrading black women, doing the wildest shit imaginable, and nobody really has that much outrage against that. So if you don't want to see a bunch of men in the prison industrial system doing homosexual things, maybe you might just want to not watch the fucking music video and not pay attention to anything Lil Nas X does. And then for all the people who want to use the argument, but Lil Nas X is for kids. He made music for kids and blah, 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 blah. He's got that skin on Roblox, whatever. I believe at the end of the day, none of these people are responsible for what they put out. They should be to a certain extent, but let's be real. Are you really going to leave your child in front of a camera or a TV and not pay attention to what they're taking in and what they're learning from social media and the world around them? That's on you. So you can go into, maybe he's, being irresponsible. Maybe he's putting out the wrong message. Maybe he's doing a disservice to the LGBTQ community. But you also got to ask yourself, do you got that same energy for other rappers and other entertainers that glorify toxic ass bullshit? If you got a problem with Lil Nas X being gay in his music, do you have a problem with rappers telling your sons to sell drugs? Rappers talking about killing each other? Rappers basically telling your son and daughters that it's okay to do life in prison and throw away their life and destroy other people's lives. No, I don't think so. So the whole point of this is, don't be a fucking hypocrite, I guess. A lot of people attack T.I. for what he said, but I kind of understand it. He's just talking about the freedom to say whatever. I feel like instead of telling people which even if you are ignorant, don't talk anymore, we're not going to support you, whatever. Why don't we just actually sit down and have conversations about this stuff? Why don't we just talk about it? If we would have actually say, you know what, you bogus as hell for what you said, but let me explain to you why. We try to educate people and not censor them. Maybe we would get farther. You don't get farther by just telling people don't do this and don't do that and all that. Now, if people don't want to actually sit down and actually have conversations and dialogue about this, then hey, that's on them. But just shunning somebody just because they think differently or they express themselves differently than you isn't gonna accomplish anything. But that has been my video. That's my personal thoughts on it. The baby is definitely ignorant as fuck for what he said, but at the same time, I don't think he was trying to offend anybody. I just think he just said some stupid shit and it didn't come out the way he meant it to. I don't think he hates gay people. Hell, if these niggas were smart, they would know that a lot of their fans are probably gay. And the thing about Lil Nas X is, I'm not going to say that I agree or I would personally support his music, or I don't know. I didn't watch videos. I can't really tell you what his message was. But I feel like everybody has the right to do whatever the fuck they want to do as long as they ain't hurting anybody. And that's it, guys. Make sure you leave a like. Comment your personal thoughts. Let me know what you thought about the video. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Turn on my notification bell. Of course, subscribe. And that is it.